In this video, I want to talk about wildlife photography, and more specifically, why over the last 10 years, there have been times when I've almost given it up altogether. But instead, in recent weeks, I've changed that mindset, and I want to share with you how I'm going to do it. Now, in the beginning, when I first started wildlife photography, I think I was like most people in that I thought I had this idea that I would take my camera out into the woods, walking on and photographing birds as I went. But sadly, the reality of that is much different. Wildlife photography is hard, and birds and animals don't just appear in front of you all the time. It actually takes a lot of time just finding them and then hoping that they're going to stick around long enough for you to photograph. And whilst I enjoy photography, it's hard not to compare yourself with different creators online. And this is made worse by seeing them almost every day. I see amazing images and footage from different people I follow, both on YouTube and different social media platforms. And at the same time, I'm always aware that I could never achieve the same level of quality in my photos. And of course, there are a number of reasons for this, which I'll get onto later. But they say comparison is the thief of joy. And whilst I agree with that sentiment, it's hard not to feel the way you do at times. Social media is so overwhelming enough as it is, so I know that that's a natural feeling, but still one that's hard for me to overcome at times, which of course is frustrating. And as a result of this, over the last few years, I've noticed that I spend less and less time actually taking wildlife photography seriously. Now I know people say gear isn't the be all and end all, but when it comes to gear, one of my biggest challenges is the idea that mine isn't good enough. And my mind jumps straight into its limitations, the lack of image stabilization on my lens or lack of animal eye AF on my camera instantly puts me off wanting to take it out and even try and catch a few photos. And of course, while someday I hope to upgrade the equipment that I have, for now I'm stuck with it. And that is what frustrates me. But again, I'm trying to compete with expert photographers using huge expensive lenses and new cameras, and I can't help but feel that frustration. But for right now, it's been important for me to get over it and just keep using what I have and to actually make the most of it. So recently I decided to change that mindset, and this video is the start of me doing just that and turning over a new leaf. So the other week I started going back to a local nature reserve and taking the time to just sit down and be patient. I'm trying to invest a few hours of my time actually practicing my photography regardless of its limitations, and most importantly, just enjoying the process. Already I've noticed improvement, even from simple things that aren't necessarily photography related, but when it comes to sitting in a blind for hours on end, wearing the right clothes which keep you warmer has been really important, taking different equipment and finding a better setup for my camera, much like this one, and talking with other photographers in the blinds. It's been really useful, and I've got some great information, putting myself in a better position to make the most of what I have, and it's all been adding up and reigniting my passion once more. I know it may sound obvious to say that I just needed to spend more time doing it, more time outside, and as a result I'll see more wildlife and take better pictures, and that practice makes perfect. But for some reason, until now, that just hadn't registered with me. But this year, I'm going to change all of that. And if you're a wildlife photographer watching this that has ever felt the same way, then I hope you take something from this video, and why not make this year your year too. So if wildlife photography and nature videos are something that interests you, then make sure to subscribe and please help me keep on track this year.